All right, so are you ready to like really dive deep today?
Let's do it.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Today, we're going to be talking about the power of visualization, and specifically, we're going to be focusing on how it can be used to like manifest your destiny.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, and to guide this deep dive, we're going to be looking at excerpts from Dr. John Demartini's Manifest Your Destiny.
Oh, yeah, I love that book.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Have you ever wondered how like elite athletes manage to achieve these incredible feats?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Or how successful people, just design these amazing lives they want?
It does seem like magic sometimes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But Dr. Demartini explains it's not magic.
Right.
It's about the connection between our thoughts and reality.
Right.
He goes way deeper than just positive thinking. He's talking about the real tangible impact our minds can have.
Yeah. Like he even uses the example of Michael Phelps.
Oh, yeah, that's a great one.
Did Phelps just visualize his way to 23 Olympic gold medals?
Well, he definitely didn't just wish for it.
Right.
Demartini talks about how Phelps visualized like every single tiny detail of his races.
Wow.
Every stroke, every turn, even just the feeling of the water.
Wow. So he like pre-lived the experience?
Exactly. It's like he was mentally rehearsing for success over and over again.
So it's more than just hoping to win.
Oh, yeah, way more.
It's about mentally like experiencing it.
Yeah, and there's actually research that backs this up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, visualizing desired outcomes actually primes your brain for success.
Okay.
It's like you create this mental blueprint that your body can follow.
So it's not just like woo-woo stuff.
No.
There's like actual science behind it.
Totally.
Does this apply to just athletes, or is this something that we can all use in our daily lives?
Demartini says it's for everyone.
Really?
He actually even used this in his own medical practice.
Interesting.
He would visualize his patients arriving, and he'd try to picture their names, their symptoms, even like details about their families.
Wait, he would visualize specific patients?
Yeah, before they even showed up.
How is that even possible?
It's wild, right? He claimed that it helped his days go more smoothly.
Okay.
And he even said that some of the things he visualized actually happened.
Wow.
He believed that by visualizing these details, he was like priming his mind to be more in tune with them.
So it's almost like tuning your awareness to a specific frequency.
Yes.
So if you're focusing on something internally,
right.
then you're more likely to notice it externally.
That's a great way to put it. It's about actively shaping your perception of reality.
Wow. And Demartini himself has this really interesting story about a vision he had when he was just 17 years old.
Oh, yeah, the balcony.
Something about a balcony and like a million people.
Yes. He was in Hawaii taking a yoga class.
Okay.
And during meditation, he had this vision of himself speaking from a balcony to a million people.
Wow.
And get this, in the background were these iconic buildings from major cities all over the world.
That's crazy. And
guess what?
What?
He's now spoken in 192 countries. And a lot of times in those exact buildings, he saw in his vision.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
Isn't that wild?
But that took decades to manifest.
Yeah.
So we're talking about like long-term visualization here.
Absolutely. It shows how powerful persistence can be. You can't give up on your dreams, even if they seem far off.
Right. And he even had like a painting made of that vision.
Yeah, he's
like to constantly remind him.
It's about keeping that vision alive in your mind.
Wow.
He also visualized himself performing at the London Palladium.
Oh, yeah. I read about that.
He saw a movie about Houdini and was so inspired.
Wow.
He even put his own picture into a cutout of the theater.
Okay, now that's dedication.
Wait.
But did it actually happen?
It did. Over 30 years later, he spoke to a packed house at the Palladium, just like he'd imagined.
Oh my gosh.
It's incredible, right?
Yeah.
Like he planted a seed in his mind, and it blossomed into reality years later.
Wow. So this makes me wonder, how do we know which goals we should be visualizing for the short term versus the long term?
That's a great question.
Like, do you think it's connected to our values at all?
It might be.
Like, are we more likely to achieve goals that really resonate with what's important to us?
That's a really interesting thought.
Because Demartini talks about this hierarchy of values concept, right?
Yeah, he does.
And he believes that we all have this like internal ranking system for what we value.
Exactly. It's like a personal compass that guides our actions and choices.
Okay, so to unpack that a little bit.
Sure.
If my highest value is like financial freedom,
okay,
then I'm probably going to be drawn to things like budgeting and investing and maybe even starting a side hustle.
Right. But if family is your top value, those financial goals might not seem as appealing.
Right. Exactly.
It all depends on what's truly important to you.
Okay, I see where you're going with this. So how do we figure out what our own personal hierarchy of values is?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah, like is this something we're born with or can it change over time?
Well, I think it's a bit of both.
Okay.
Like some values might be more ingrained, while others can evolve as we go through life experiences.
Right.
But Demartini, he really believes that if we're neglecting our values, it can lead to feeling scattered, unfulfilled, even stuck.
Oh, wow. So if I'm feeling lost or like I'm not making progress, it could be a sign that I need to kind of reassess what's really important to me.
It could be.
Like maybe I'm chasing after goals that aren't actually aligned with what I truly value.
Exactly. It's like trying to force a square peg into a round hole.
Right.
You might get it in there eventually,
Yeah.
but it's going to take a ton of effort and it's never going to feel quite right.
Right. It's never going to be a good fit.
Yeah, exactly.
It's that saying, if you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there.
I love that saying.
But how do we actually figure out what our values are?
Well, Demartini has a program that he calls the Breakthrough Experience.
Oh.
Have you heard of that?
I have, yeah.
It's all about helping people get clarity on their vision and their values. And one of the exercises he uses is creating a love list.
A love list.
Yeah. Basically, it's like a blueprint for your dream life.
Oh, okay.
And you list out everything.
Wow.
Everything.
Wow.
Like your ideal career, your relationships, your hobbies, even just your living environment.
Okay, so it's not just about setting goals.
Right.
It's about getting really specific about what makes you feel alive and fulfilled.
Exactly. And when you make this love list,
Yeah.
you'll start to see all these patterns and themes.
Oh, okay.
And that reveals what your core values are.
Okay, I'm already picturing myself on a beach with a margarita writing my love list.
That sounds amazing.
But seriously, this sounds like a super powerful exercise.
It is.
It's like taking inventory of everything that really matters to you.
Yes. And sometimes it can be really eye-opening.
Really?
Yeah, because sometimes we realize that we've been pursuing goals that are based on, external expectations.
Right.
Or societal pressures.
Yeah.
Instead of what we genuinely desire.
So it's about reclaiming your power.
Yeah.
Your autonomy.
Exactly.
But what about those times when we feel like we're falling short? Like we're not measuring up to other people.
Yeah.
How does that tie into all this stuff about values?
Ugh, the comparison trap.
Right.
Demartini warns us about that all the time.
Yeah.
Comparing yourself to others. It's just a recipe for disaster.
It is.
It'll totally derail your progress and steal your joy.
Because we're all on our own unique journey, right?
Exactly.
Like what works for one person might not work for someone else.
Right.
And if we're too focused on what other people are doing, then we lose sight of our own path.
And it leads to all those feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt.
Totally.
Like you start to question your own abilities, your choices, even your own worth.
Yeah, it's like we're giving our power away to external validation instead of trusting our own internal compass.
It's so true. And Demartini, he talks about how important it is to connect with what he calls our soul.
Okay, so we're getting a little deep here.
We are.
What does he mean by soul?
Well, he describes it as this state of unconditional love.
Okay.
Like free from all judgment.
That seems pretty spiritual.
It definitely has a spiritual aspect to it, but it's also really practical.
Okay.
When we let go of all that judgment,
Yeah.
the judgments we have about ourselves and about other people,
Right.
then we create this space for clarity and authenticity.
So it's about cultivating self-awareness and self-acceptance.
Yes.
And then using that as a foundation to manifest our destiny.
Exactly. It's not just about visualizing our goals.
Right.
It's about aligning our actions with our deepest values and living in a way that feels true to who we really are.
I love that. And when you have that alignment,
Yes.
that's where the magic happens.
It is. It gives you the strength and resilience to overcome challenges.
Yeah.
And you can create a life that feels truly meaningful and fulfilling.
That's beautiful. It's about embracing our individuality, honoring our passions, and using our unique talents to make a positive impact on the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it all starts with a vision.
Yes.
A clear sense of what we want to create and who we want to become.
And once you have that vision,
Yeah.
then you can start taking action,
Okay.
step by step, to make it a reality.
But what does that look like practically?
That's where the rubber meets the road.
Right.
Dr. Demartini, he talks about taking inspired action.
Okay.
It's not just about wishful thinking.
Right.
You got to align your actions with your vision. Make choices that support your goals.
Yeah.
And really stay focused on what you're creating.
So it's not just about like daydreaming.
No.
It's about actually doing something
exactly.
to move towards those dreams.
And you don't have to take these huge life-altering steps right away.
Right.
It's often the small, consistent actions
Okay.
that lead to the biggest changes over time.
So it's about like building momentum one step at a time.
Yes.
But what about those times when you know you're feeling doubtful? Ugh. Yeah, we all have those moments.
Like you hit a roadblock or you just feel like giving up.
Totally.
How do we stay motivated when that happens?
You have to remember your why.
My why.
Yeah, why are you doing this?
Okay.
What impact do you want to make?
Right.
What difference will this goal make in your life and in the lives of others?
So it's about like connecting with the deeper purpose behind the goal.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
And that can be incredibly motivating.
Okay.
It helps you push through those challenges and stay committed to your vision.
So if my goal is to write a book,
Okay.
it's not just about the act of writing it.
Right.
It's about the message I want to share with the world
Exactly.
and the impact that I want to have on my readers.
It's about finding that inner drive that fuels your passion and keeps you going even when things get tough.
And sometimes we need a little help.
Oh, absolutely.
Like we don't have to do it all alone.
Surround yourself with supportive people.
Okay.
People who believe in you and encourage you.
That's so important.
It is. Find mentors, join communities, seek out resources.
Yeah.
All those things can offer guidance and inspiration along the way.
So it's about building a support system.
Yes.
Like a team of cheerleaders.
Exactly.
That'll help you stay on track and celebrate your wins.
And don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it.
Right.
There's no shame in that.
Yeah.
Seek guidance and support from people who've been there before.
Yeah. It's about recognizing that we're all in this together.
We are.
And we can achieve so much more when we support each other.
I love that.
So what about those times when we feel like we're not making progress fast enough?
Yeah, that can be tough.
Yeah. How do we manage our expectations and stay patient with the process?
That is a great question. It's so important to remember that meaningful change takes time
Right.
and effort. Dr. Demartini talks about this all the time.
Yeah.
Don't compare your journey to anyone else's.
Because everyone's timeline is different.
Exactly. What might take one person a year to accomplish could take another person 5 years.
Right.
It's not about rushing the process. It's about trusting the journey,
Yeah.
embracing the challenges, and celebrating even the smallest wins along the way.
So it's about like finding joy in the process,
Yes.
not just the destination.
Exactly. And trust that you're right where you need to be in this moment.
Okay. I'm starting to really see the power of all this manifestation stuff.
It's pretty amazing.
But I gotta be honest, there's still a part of me that's a little skeptical.
That's understandable.
How do we know if this is actually working? Like, are
Yeah.
there any signs we should be looking for to know that we're on the right track?
Well, it's not always about like seeing huge obvious signs.
Okay.
Think of it this way. When you're really aligned with your vision and your values, you start attracting experiences and opportunities that support that alignment.
Okay.
It might not always be giant leaps forward.
Good.
It could be like subtle shifts in your perspective or new people coming into your life.
Okay.
Or even unexpected resources that suddenly become available.
So it's about paying attention to those like synchronicities.
Yes.
Those little moments that feel like they were meant to be.
Exactly. And trusting your intuition. You know, Demartini talks about connecting with our inner wisdom, that voice inside that guides us towards what's truly best for us.
It's like that gut feeling you get
Yeah,
that tells you if something's right or wrong,
exactly.
or whether you should do something or walk away.
And the more you listen to that voice,
Yeah.
the more aligned you'll become with your true path.
So it's not just about visualizing our goals.
Right.
It's about cultivating self-awareness, connecting with our values, trusting our intuition,
Yes.
and taking inspired action.
It's like a whole person approach to manifesting your destiny.
I like that. And it's a process, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It takes time and effort.
Definitely Demartini. He says we shouldn't get discouraged by setbacks or delays.
Okay.
He actually sees challenges as opportunities for growth and learning.
Interesting.
He even suggests that sometimes those challenges redirect us to an even better path.
So it's about embracing the whole journey, you know,
Really?
with all its twists and turns,
Exactly.
and trusting that everything happens for a reason.
Right. And remembering that we're not really in control of everything.
Right.
We can set our intentions, we can visualize our goals and take action, but there's a bigger picture that we don't always see.
So it's about surrendering to the flow of life.
Yeah.
But still actively participating in creating our own reality.
Beautifully said.
Hmm.
It's finding that balance between effort and allowing
Yeah.
action and surrender.
Okay. I think I'm really starting to get this.
I'm glad.
But I'm curious, what do you think is the biggest misconception people have about manifesting their destiny?
I'd say the biggest misconception is that it's about controlling external circumstances. It's not about forcing things to happen or manipulating people to get what you want.
Right.
It's about aligning your inner world with your desired outcomes
Okay.
and then taking inspired action from that place of alignment.
So it's more about becoming a vibrational match
Yes,
for what you want to attract.
exactly. And recognizing that you already have everything you need within you to create the life you desire.
It's about tapping into your own power.
Yeah, your creativity, your resourcefulness, your resilience.
And believing in yourself.
Absolutely.
Trusting that the universe has got your back.
It does.
Yeah.
And embracing the journey with like a sense of adventure and curiosity.
Yeah. And joy.
Yes.
Okay, so to wrap things up,
Mm-hmm.
if you're ready to start manifesting your destiny, remember to connect with your values.
Yes.
Visualize your goals. Trust your intuition. Take inspired action. And embrace the journey with an open heart and a curious mind.
I love it.
So thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the power of visualization.
It was my pleasure.
And until next time, keep dreaming big, keep taking action, and keep believing in the magic of your own potential.
And if you want to learn more about Dr. Demartini's work,
Yeah.
we encourage you to check out his books, his programs, and all his amazing resources.
Awesome. Well, we'll see you on our next deep dive.
Sounds good.